Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today is the last part of the end of the year series. We're going to talk about the best books that I've read this year. Honestly, it hasn't been a fantastic year reading wise. It's been good, but mostly average. Very average reading the year. So finding favorites was a struggle. Honestly, I usually have 15 to 20 favorite books. This year I struggled to get 10 on the list, and I got a few honorable mentions. And honestly, most of them are novellas or graphic novels. Really weird. Really weird. But I'm going to start with the honorable mentions. This list is not going to be in any particular order except for the number one spot. Number one spot is definitely the best book that I've read this year. Probably in my lifetime, honestly. But let's just start with the honorable mentions. So in the honorable mentions, first I have two mangas that I've been really loving this last part of the year. One is Gannibal and the other one is the Murders at the Decagon house. Is that how you say it in English? But this is basically a murder mystery set on this island. This is a murder mystery. Let's not talk about it more. And this one is about a cop that is sent to this village, and there are rumors that the part of this village are cannibals, which is fucking great. Apparently there's a fucking TV show on Disney Plus about this. I had no idea. Probably will check it out, but currently I'm on volume 3. Well, I've already read it. I'll need to get volume 4, and this one the same. And I don't know, I've been really invested in this too. I feel like I'm going to end up reading this one in English, but it doesn't have a physical copy, so I don't know if I'm going to wait. But let me show you this, because I realized the other day that they are super cool on the inside. I had no idea. But yeah, I've been really invested on this, so if you have the chance, check them out. I don't know if Gannibal is actually translated into English, but this one certainly is, even though there's no physical print of it. But check it out. They're fantastic. Winds of Strife, I talked about this one a lot during the year. I really liked it. It's dark fantasy and hunting witches. I just really liked it overall. I'll link my review up here. Check it out. I just really liked it. I love the dynamic of the main character with literally everyone else. He's such a bitch, but I just really liked it. The story is also great, and especially the magic system. The magic system in this book is outstanding. Outstanding. Few magic systems are as good as this one and as original. As worked, honestly. Check this one out. It's fantastic. Then, just literally out of sheer enjoyment, but this year I really was kind of saved by Brian McClellan in The Shadow of Lightning. I've seen some people be disappointed by it, but for me, it gave me the same feeling as the Powder Mage trilogy. The same. For me, they could be set on the same world and I would believe it. In fact, I kind of thinking of rereading it, because I really liked it that much. I didn't give it 5 full stars. It was a 4.5, but still, it just gave me the same feeling. I love the Promise of Blood, especially the whole trilogy in general. I didn't love the second trilogy as much, but the first trilogy is one of my favorite series of all time, and it made it for me. It made it for me, and I'm so grateful, because this year has been so bad. But I loved it. I highly recommend to check it out, honestly. So let's just go with the books. I literally think I added 2 more. I was so grateful for December, because I mostly got all of my 5-star reads in December. Literally, I made the list and I had to put 2 more books in here, which made me so happy. You cannot even imagine. So let's just go with those books. Kingdoms of Death. I'm about to read Ashes of Man, which is book 5 in the Sun Eater series, but I read book 4 this year. And let me tell you something, this was fucking fantastic. Few books are this good, few series are this good, honestly. Sun Eater series is just the series that keeps on giving. With each book, it just gets better and better. It's one of those examples where you don't love book 1, but if you keep reading, you're going to love it. Because the books are so different between one another, but they're still so connected. Oh, I love this one. I love seeing more of this Yell scene. Honestly, there's Hadrian struggles so much in this one. The ending is very bittersweet, but it's just so good. This is one of the few series that I feel like feels like a series, like not an episodic series, but no, like a continuous long story that you're being told, and it's just so good. Honestly, I cannot recommend this one enough. Like, I know the first book, Empire Silence, is not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. I do have to say that I had like a worst memory of it the first time that I read it, especially with the gladiator stuff, which I just really didn't like. But I reread it this year, I believe, and I actually fly through it. So I don't know if it's maybe because my love of the series is bigger now, but definitely not as long as I thought. I still love it. Still love it, especially since book 3. Like, book 2 is good, but book 3 and 4, man, they are good. Demon in White has some great horror elements, like sci-fi horror. Probably it's been scarier to read like some like that part of Demon in White than some horror sci-fi books that are just horror sci-fi books. Kingdoms of Death is probably being like the best sequel that I read this year, hands down. Like, it's just good. It's just that good. Then this is the year that I fell in love with horror graphic novels. I found my niche. I was already into graphic novels before. My favorite graphic novel is The Sandman, along with Lock and Key, but I have some new favorites. I'm planning on doing a new video recommending graphic novels, like horror graphic novels in particular, because I found my niche, and I'm just so happy on it. I just have found so many good like graphic novels this year, and these next two are my favorite ones for this year. The Nice House in the Lake, by the same author as Something is Killing the Children. Bitch, this was so good. Also, the art is beautiful, by the way. Like, the art is fucking beautiful. But besides from that, you're basically going to follow this group of not exactly friends, but they all have this friend in common, and he invites them to this house to have like a party, basically. And once they are there, they discover that the world outside that bubble has ended, and that actually their friend is like a fucking monster. And it's just so cool, man. I cannot wait for volume 2 of this shit. It's coming out this this year, and I cannot wait. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's very gory, very like terrifying at times. You have like a dual timeline, but with the time that they spend in the house, and some of them are outside. I loved it so much. I cannot recommend it enough. Like, definitely one of my favorite graphic novels now, even though I've only read one volume. I don't care. It's just so good. And the other one is Gideon Falls, which was actually recommended to me on the channel, and by one comment that was just like, oh, you like graphic novels? Check out this one. You were so right. You were so right. This shit is fucking amazing. Like, in this, I'm already like about to finish. The series is a 6-volume series, and I'm currently on volume 4, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Each volume I love the same. Like, it's just so good. But it's basically about this black barn that appears in the middle of this town, and once you're in there, it's just very freaky. It's very horror-like, and I don't know. Also, the art is also fucking great, as you can see. But we follow a bunch of different characters, mostly like not two perspectives per se, but 2 groups of characters, one in this village and one on the town, and a little bit of back and forth, and I just love it so much. Literally, graphic novels have been saving me this year, because reading wise it's been a mess, but graphic novels really came in strong this year. Like, amazing. Then let's talk about all the self-published in a go. But obviously the girl is here. Like, the last book is coming out this year. I cannot fucking believe it. I don't know why, but I really thought that Will White was going to expand the series a little bit, even though it was already said that it was going to be 12 books long. But I don't know, I thought he was going to expand on it because he did it too. But apparently no, volume 12 is going to be the last one. And this is volume 11, which I read this year. It came out this year. And I love it. I know a little bit, some people were a little bit underwhelmed by it. I still love it. And I'm not going to justify myself because honestly, I just love this series. And I don't care. I cannot review it critically anymore because I just love it that much. It just makes me happy. It just makes me happy. And I can acknowledge some of the flaws, but I still don't care, you know? I just really love it. And it makes me genuinely happy reading this series. So I'm not going to tell you like any cons or anything. I just think this series is fucking fantastic. Some people are not going to like it, especially because of the little RPG elements that you have, like growing your mana and such. But it's just so good. And it works for me every single time. I do have to say that I feel like the two first books are the weakest ones, and then it just gets better and better. If you're not convinced by book 3, Black Flame, which is, I think, is still my favorite book of the series. I don't know. I would probably need to read all of them. But if you're not convinced by them, then stop reading it. It's not going to work for you. But book 3, I think, is where everything really shines. Like full potential, and I just love it. I love this one. I cannot wait to love book 12. Honestly, I'm going to be devastated when it's done. Oh, I'm going to be so devastated when it's over, but it's great. I also have some special editions coming, so that makes me super excited. But yeah, I'll just say it. I just love it, and I just don't care. I just don't care. It's just so good. Then I've talked about this one a lot this year, but this is Dark Apprentice by Val Neal. And the thing is, I liked it when I read it. I really, really liked it. But over the year, honestly, it has become one of my favorites because few things can topple the amount of charisma these fucking two characters have. Like, Nikolai and Medea are such a good pair. I barely even remember main characters' names. Like, it's so hard for characters to actually have an impact on me. I just fucking love this pair. They're so good. I mean, Nikolai is a piece of shit. Yes. Medea is also a pretty... not great some of the times, but I just love their dynamic. Works so well. I read the sequel, well, not this month, last month. I really, really liked it too. But I feel like this first encounter was so good that it wasn't fair to put Dark Mind in here, and I'm putting Dark Apprentice because it was just that great. I will be reading more, I will be talking more about Dark Mind this month when I do like a wrap up of every single book that I've read. But for sure, check this one out. Check this one out. It's about a powerful magician that basically kills every single one of their students. And this new apprentice is actually trying to kill her. They are just constantly going back and forth. It's great. Though I have to say that I love their their relationship in book 2. It's just great. It's just great. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Coming to save the year. Oh my god, the Sirens of Unworthy Gods. Honestly, when I was reading like the first 50% of this book, I was sitting on a solid 4. I was like, yes, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. It's not going to make the cut. Bitch, last week I finished it and it was so good. I give it 5 stars. The last, I don't know, 40 to 30% of this book, the plot is skyrocketed. Fucking insane. And the ending was so fucking bittersweet. Like, what is going on? What is going to happen with that character? Like, I need it in this series. I want him in the series. Like, he's one of my favorite characters. What's going to happen? I don't know, but I have to know. But he's also working on another project, but his second project is Arcane Ascension 5. So probably next year we're going to have another Arcane Ascension book. But still, thank God. Thank God I had this in the end of the year. I needed it so badly. This has just like pump up my reading again. Yesterday I finished like 2 books already and I'm so happy about it. I felt like reading. I read physically for like 3 hours straight. Thanks to this. It's my favorite series. Well, my second favorite series. We'll talk about that one later. But this is just so good. This is just so good. I cannot recommend the Arcane Ascension anymore. Like, it's just like the Cradle. If you like Cradle, you're going to like Arcane Ascension. And if you like Arcane Ascension, you're going to love the Cradle. It's the fucking, like, same vibe to it. Linden and Corin are so alike. I love them both so much. A few mentions. The Liar's Knot, another great sequel that I've read this year. I really liked it. For some reason, this series gives me so much comfort, even though it's extremely convoluted. Like, especially book one. In here, you're more like settled, so you're not as lost. But in the first one, everyone has like a counterpart, and it's just like so many different names, even though they're the same people. So it's so much, there's so much going on, but I was really invested in the characters in this one and on the plot. So I was really happy with where this was going. So I really cannot wait for book 3. I think it's going to be book 3, obviously, but I just really liked it. It feels like a comfort read. I don't know why, but I love this one. I listened to it as an audiobook, and I wouldn't recommend it for the first book because it's really confusing, but for the second book, it really worked out for me, and I just loved it, honestly. It was one of the few like 5-star reads that I had this year that I was just like, yes, this was good. I have 0 complaints about it. I just loved it, and that's it. I really loved it. Then coming in hot, another read that I had on December, The Hand of the Sun King. Bitch, I wasn't expecting this. I had owned this for literally a year. I think I thought about it a lot of times, but never picked it up. I regretted it so much. Like, I have already ordered book 2 because I fucking love this. It's basically about a guy who is a little bit divided between the heritage from his father and the heritage from his mother. The part of his mother basically were revolutionaries, they had magic, and then the part of his father is like the empire that came in and conquered them. And he's just like, do I want to learn magic? Do I want to learn that type of magic? Do I want to serve the emperor? Do I want to serve the emperor just to learn magic? Oh my god, I loved it! I loved it so much. I do have to say that I prefer like the first half rather than the latter half, but still, I fucking love this. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I listened to it in 2 days. I couldn't stop. I find myself searching for excuses to just sit down and listen to it a little bit more, because I just loved it that much. I do have to say that I've seen that book 2 is not as good as book 1, and the people who loved book 1 didn't love book 2, and the opposite happened. So I'm a little bit scared about that. But honestly, I feel like I'm going to love it either way. Like, it's already on the way. I think it's going to arrive tomorrow, and I'll probably just listen to it this month or next month, depending on how much time I have this month left. But fantastic. I will talk about it more on my wrap up when I do it later this month. So we're getting into the top 3, and honestly, on the top 3 I have 2 novellas. How this happened, I have no clue, but it did happen. So the first one is The Freeze Frame Revolution by Peter Watts. I love this man, dude. He writes sci-fi like no one else, honestly. It's hard sci-fi, and it's about a ship. This ship wakes up different groups of people every single time, and they build wormholes. And they have been doing this for years and years and years. And basically the AI is trying to become a little bit insane, so they're trying to quit. But because they are waking up different parts of the crew every single time, it's very difficult, and it's just great. I loved it so much when I read it. I still think about it, and I think I read this one in like February or something, and I still think about it because it was so good. So good. Pretty much hard sci-fi, but not that hard. So I think you're fine reading it, honestly. And then, second to last, I have Hellmouth. I've been thinking about this novel non-stop. It was like sparkle my love for dark fantasy and horror fantasy this year. Is what inspired me to start the book club. I love this novella. Honestly, it's probably one of the most like terrifying things that I've read in a long time, and the ambient is just fucking amazing. It's basically about a group of mercenaries that are sent to this village, and they find like a gigantic hole in the roof, ceiling, in the floor. Find like a hole in the floor that legend says that leads to hell, and they go down and things go to hell. Basically, it's just so good. I really liked it. I wish like we had like a full-length novel of it, but I just enjoyed every single page of this novella, and it's actually kind of based on a real location. It's a real castle that has like this Hellmouth, and when they found it, all the barricades were actually pointing into the hole instead of like the entrance. It's just so creepy. I loved it, so I highly recommend to check it out. And to no one's surprise, honestly, I don't think I'm forgetting anything, but the #1 book my new favorite series of all time, because honestly, I just don't think I've ever read a series or a book or a series of books this good, and I honestly don't think I ever will. I genuinely think, and I'm using my critical thinking here, that there's nothing out there that's ever going to be as good and as complete in every single aspect of the literary art than the Dandelion Dynasty. I just cannot think about anything being better than this. I just cannot think about it. Speaking Bones on itself is just so good, but the feeling of the whole series is just something that I can actually not comprehend, because it's just so grand and so vast. It's so good that I cannot express it. Like, I tried to do this with Tommy on the live show, and I think we are both on the same page with this. But man, Kalu just writes different. It's just, this is not even him. Like, this story is just different. It's different, and he said himself, like, he doesn't think that he has another like Dandelion Dynasty on him, because I just cannot think about anything that can be better than this. It's just like not even on the same level. Like, I just cannot think. You know, my love for the Sword of Kagan, you know, my love of a King Ascension, they cannot compete with this. Like, it's so out of ordinary reading. Like, league is just insane. It's just insane. Like, every single detail in this book and in this series matter. Every single thing, everything that was on a page matter to someone or to something else later on, and that is fucking insane. Because this series, these books are so long, and there has to be like such a level of preparation to just get everything connected here. Like, my brain cannot comprehend how this was made. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Like, before starting writing this series, you really need to get everything mapped out, because otherwise it's impossible. And don't even get me started. Like, I'm talking mostly plot here, but don't even get me started on the characters here. Probably the most real characters that I've read in my fucking lifetime. Everyone had their motivation. Everyone thought they were doing right, and in their point of view, you could see that too. Like, it doesn't matter who you are following, you can see their motivations so clearly. It's fucking insane. The work that is in this series is insane. Like, I do not care. You might think, oh my god, Stormlight is so big. Do not care. It does not have the level of detail that this series, these 4 books have. Like, it does not. I cannot think of any other series that can compare to this, as much as I like the other ones. Critically, this series is just great. It's just great. Speaking Bones is fantastic. Probably my second favorite books, but in the series, my second favorite one. But Wall of Storms, the best book I've read in my life. And this series, the best series I've read in my life. And not that I probably ever will. Honestly, I really just don't think that I cannot think about it. Like, it's just insane. Insane. I told you last time, the last time that I reviewed this, I didn't cut out anything. I didn't edit it, that part, because I wanted people to see like my raw emotion to this book, and you can still see it. I will not edit this one out either. It's insane. I know that I'm repeating myself now and I'm going to stop, but it's fucking insane. This series is just out of this fucking world. There's no way we deserve this series. It's just incredible. Best book I read this year. Best series I've read ever. And I cannot recommend it enough. I really cannot recommend it enough. It's just that good. It's just that good. It might not be for you. 100% can get that. But it's just the best series I've read. In every single regard. Every single time that I come across some criticism, I feel like you have not read the book. Honestly, I just cannot. Like, there's no way that you interpreted that. It's just insane. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I'm just repeating myself too much, but yeah. Just coming to a surprise, as a surprise for no one. So yeah, those were the best books that I read this year, my favorite books of the year. What was your favorite book of the year? Please just let me know. If you're on the Dandelion Dynasty train, welcome. If you're planning on reading that, just let me know too, please. I love to talk about the series a lot. You can see it on my face. I'm so happy even though I'm super tired. But yeah, that's going to be all for today, and I will keep recording some kind of end of the year type of videos, like anticipated releases, the new releases that I've read from last year and such. So as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.